Just a quick word up front. So this project, just this season, is a culmination of almost 3 years of writing and recording and really puzzling over, how to make something that's interesting and engaging and maybe makes you feel something. So anyway, if you're enjoying this, I'd really love it if you shared it. Text your friends, go on Instagram, whatever. There is really nothing I want more in my work than to keep telling stories. And you could help me do that. Thanks. Welcome to Hello Unknown, a podcast exploring the hidden parts of the human experience. I'm Jonathan Wright. Today, our final episode of Season 1, Hawaiian Mall. I love Hawaiian malls. They get more from me than they deserve, like Star Wars. Star Wars is fine. Hawaiian malls, also fine, but I love them both. So what is it? The answer, I think, is that it makes me feel things. It's the warmth and the tropical smell from the hand lotions in the ABC store. It's the Hawaiian music in the bathrooms. It's being a 15-year-old boy and looking for skate shoes in PacSun in size 13 because my mom had convinced me my feet would grow forever. I'm 34 and a comfortable size 11 now, but who knows? It's going to Walden Books when I was a kid and asking if they have Redwall by Brian Jacques, Jacques, and being told by the clerk it's pronounced Brian Jakes, and thinking, this guy is a stupid American. But here's the thing. I just Googled, without quotes, the words Brian Jacques pronunciation, and it turns out he was not a stupid American. I'm a stupid Canadian. It's Brian Jakes. Anyway, the Hawaiian Mall, like most places, has layers. And there's layers to this Hawaiian Mall that I'm speaking to you about right now. It's called the Lahaina Cannery Mall. It's on the island of Maui, and before it was a mall, it was a pineapple cannery. Built in 1919, the old photographs showing white warehouse buildings in rows, 2 tall smokestacks, and behind them a yellow slope, and then the hills of West Maui, like the green fingers of a giant. The story starts with the pineapple. When I think of pineapples, I think of Hawaii, but that is a mistake. Pineapple historians say the pineapple probably made its way to Hawaii around 1770. It arrived from South America. Spanish missionaries and explorers would have brought the fruit on their ships because, well, they're delicious, but also, more importantly, they keep a while and were necessary for fending off scurvy. The first written record of pineapples in Hawaii comes from the diary of a Spaniard. His name was Don Francisco de Paula Moran. He had a goatee, and he wore a flat hat that looks like a black banana, and he was friends with the king at the time, the Hawaiian king, King Kamehameha I. And on the 21st of January, 1813, he wrote these words in his diary. "This day I planted pineapples and an orange tree." It took a little over 100 years, but eventually the pineapple changed Hawaii, beginning with 2 people. The first was Hawaiian. She was the queen of Hawaii, actually, Queen Liliuokalani. She had large eyes and dark hair and a square face. You can Google her. There's lots of pictures. In one of them, she's wearing a long black velvet dress. She's not smiling, but she looks like she's about to when the cameraman says he's done. The second was American, a man named Sanford B. Dole. There's lots of pictures of him also, with his Colonel Sanders mustache, a white walrus tusk beard down to the middle of his chest, hands in his trouser pockets, head tilted slightly back. He was a sugar tycoon originally, and a lawyer. He was born in Hawaii to Christian missionaries from Maine. And what began the Pineapple Revolution, at least indirectly, happened in 1893. With the help of other sugar planters and some U.S. Marines, Sanford Dole deposed Queen Liliuokalani and made himself president of Hawaii, against the protests of the American president, a Democrat named Grover Cleveland, who demanded he return the territory back to Liliuokalani. Dole held on to his presidency until the Republicans came back into power in Washington. In 1898, Hawaii was annexed by the U.S., annexed being the polite word for stolen, and President McKinley made Sanford Dole the official governor of the new U.S. territory. The pineapples came next. Sanford B. Dole had a second cousin. The second cousin was James Dole. And if you're thinking to yourself by now, Dole, where have I heard this? The answer is pineapples, and James Dole was the guy. James followed 13 Californian families who were offered homesteads by the U.S. government on Hawaiian land after it became a territory. He arrived in Oahu, and he experimented with crops until he figured out the pineapple was the one, gold in fruit form, just waiting to be mass-produced and canned and shipped to the mainland with the magic marketing, made in Hawaii, on the label. And that's what he did. And following his success, so did others on other Hawaiian islands, including on the island of Maui. And there the Baldwin family built a cannery on the west edge of that island in 1919 at Lahaina. I'll return to that in a moment. But first, I'll tell you how I built my Hawaiian Mall. It began the fall of 2001. I was 15, in grade 10. I just got back from summer camp, and something had changed. We had these discussions in my History 10 class. I think it started there. We didn't do much history. We just argued, really. Mr. Sword, which is a great name, and he was my favorite teacher, he'd throw these bombs into the center of the room. Religion, abortion, sexual politics, that kind of thing. And I'd wade right in because I knew the answers to all of them. I was a Christian, so I took the Christian side. Later, I found out there was another Christian in that class, but I was the only one who spoke, and I made up for it. I was strident and passionate and loud and probably very annoying. Even at that young age, I was already really afraid of this thing that I will tell you if you haven't figured it out already. There's a metaphor I return to sometimes. It's the idea that life as I experience it is a room. And first the room is big and scary and dark. And then, slowly, I come to understand what's inside. I grow comfortable. And eventually I end up believing the room is all there is. But then something happens and I open the door, or it's open for me. Usually it's open for me. And now I'm in a new room, a bigger room now. And everything starts over. That happened all the time for me, especially when I was young. There were always these new rooms, one after another. And when I was 15, I was in this dark room. I was passionate about what I believed when I was in history class, or debate class, whatever it really was. But when I got home and had a shower, or went for a walk, and really thought to myself, really reflected, I'd say, I don't think this is true. It doesn't make sense. And that's what I was afraid of. And then I went to Hawaii. It was Christmas of 2001. 2 years before, we'd gone at Christmas also. My old babysitter was there. She was 6 years older than me and beautiful. Curly blonde hair, surfer girl look, and our families celebrated the New Year together. We listened to Prince's song, 1999, and I'll be honest, I wanted to party with her like it was 1999, but I was probably 6 feet tall and 145 pounds of mostly pimples, and it didn't happen. So that was the year 2000. So in 2001, I went to Hawaii again. I went to the beach and the mall, and I looked for big shoes and books. And one evening, I sat down alone on a lawn chair on the grass in front of the beach at the place where we stayed. It was dark, but the stars were really bright. They're always bright in Hawaii. I was thinking about the room I was in, and something occurred to me. It was kind of simple. It came from a book I'd read as a child. It was called The Silver Chair. It's in the Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. Anyway, in the book there's 2 children and a marsh wiggle named Puddleglum, and they've been captured by a witch underground. She's throwing magic dust into the fire and casting a spell on them and trying to convince them that the outside world doesn't exist. that it's a dream, that the only thing that's true is this underground darkness. They'd say, no, the outside world exists, there's Narnia. And she'd say, you're making that up. And they'd say, no, there's a sun. And she'd say, but you're thinking of the light of this lamp, for example, and just exaggerating. There's no sun. It goes like this for some time, and then eventually the Marshwiggle, the hero, rouses himself. He says maybe there is no Narnia, no sun, no overworld. But even if it's fake, this world is better than yours, this dark place. And he stamps out the fire, and the spell is undone. I think there's this fundamental thing in most people. We believe the framework we have right now, our lens, our theories or beliefs, the things we use to understand the world, whatever those things are, we believe they're the right ones. Most of us believe it because, moment by moment, we have to. It's frightening to know there's something else, and we don't want that fear when we're in line for coffee. You can trust me on that, because I've had that fear in line for coffee. So hopefully you'll forgive a 15-year-old with a simple argument. The moral of that story, in the silver chair, is that Narnia is real and the witch is a liar. That I didn't know if God was real. I wanted to believe, because it felt right. So on the lawn chair on the grass in front of the beach, I made my dark room a Hawaiian Mall. I said to myself the same thing as the Marshwiggle, that even if Christianity was wrong, I liked it better. There was peace for me there. It was safe. It gave me a digestible image of this dark, hidden place I lived in. I chose it, in short, because it made me feel good. Like the tropical smell from the hand lotions in the ABC stores. Like the Hawaiian music in the bathrooms. The canned pineapple industry in Hawaii peaked in the 1940s. At that point, it was 83% of the entire world's canned pineapple production. There are pages and pages in the 1927 Annual Reference Book for Hawaii, which I read for you, dear listener, devoted solely to pineapple statistics. But then, over the next 40 years or so, it declined to next to nothing. From 74% in the 50s, then 55 in the 60s, then 37, then 16, decade by decade, until in 1990, it was 1%. 83 to 1. The cannery in Lahaina was closed in the 60s. It was globalization and labor costs. In poorer nations like the Philippines, a former U.S. colony, by the way, the canneries could pay as little as 8 cents per hour. Hawaii couldn't compete. For a time, the cannery sat dormant. In the mid-'80s, Hawaii Omori Inc., a developer, had the idea to build a shopping center, reusing the cannery itself. That lasted for a little while. Eventually, they settled for something less romantic and more practical, and they tore it down. By 1987, they finished work on the mall we have today, the Lahaina Cannery Mall, which was designed to look like a pineapple cannery, but never was. You don't come to Hawaii and stay in the mall. The Hawaiian Mall feels right. It's safe and shallow. It's pretty. It has what you need, or some of what you need, and lots of what you don't. It's designed to represent something, Hawaii, that it mostly isn't. It's when you leave the mall that you see what's real and true. In 2001, as a 15-year-old, I built a Hawaiian Mall. I'm 34 now. I'm a husband and a lawyer. I have 2 little boys. The room I'm in now is really beautiful, and sometimes it feels really big and dark. So I'll be honest and say that over the years, even recently, after long periods of wrestling, not knowing what else to do, I've built new Hawaiian malls. Bigger ones, maybe, and more nuanced, but Hawaiian malls nonetheless. Choosing what feels right, sometimes, yes, even without much evidence to back it up. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with it, at least for a time. All frameworks start somewhere. There's no pure, evidence-based worldview, whatever the scientists and philosophers and angry tweeters might say. So I'll build a Hawaiian Mall. But I also know better than to stay there. There's darkness outside the room I'm in. There's uncertainty and mystery. There's so many things I fear. It's the unknown. But I have to move on. On to the next room. What else can I do? Our episode today is written and produced by me, Jonathan Wright. More production and editing, along with the music, is by Taylor Swindells of Neighborhood Libraries. If you have suggestions for Season 2, or you just want to tell us about your experience with the unknown, you can email us at hellounknownpod@gmail.com or tweet at us at hellounknownpod. And a special thanks to everyone who has helped us out with this project, with editing, thoughts, or just encouragement. Taylor Swindells, of course, I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you, thank you. Drew Gilmore, Jared Ing, Maddie Lee, my wife Rebecca, my dad, my mom, thank you. And a special thanks to Lauren Berkovich and Chris Kelly at Kelly & Kelly. They helped me so much with this podcast after answering a completely cold email from me. I couldn't be more grateful. Thank you. If you enjoyed Season 1, please tell your friends. Good ratings and reviews help more people to hear us. And yes, you can still contribute to our Patreon at patreon.com/hellounknown. We will be back. Season 2 is in the works. I'll be posting updates. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening.